coldest air of the season so far is settling in across the eastern half of the U.S. Record low temperatures are looking to be broken across the south, and many up north will be getting in on some very early snowfall. At the same time, record heat is present across much of the west coast. These air masses are about to crash into each other and essentially flip, setting the stage for an extreme weather pattern shift as we head towards the end of October. So what does this mean for you? Well, we have to start by looking into the dynamics behind this massive blast of cold air that's coming into the East Coast. In our last video, you probably remember this, we talked a lot about the stratospheric polar vortex, and we talked about it being at an all-time weak point. And remember, a weak polar vortex means that it's unstable and wobbly, which can let out shots of cold air from the Arctic. We're actually already starting to see this manifest. Take a look at what the jet stream is looking like right now. It's very wavy and wobbly as a result of the weak polar vortex. This will allow the Arctic cold air to funnel in as the trough dips southward during this week. That big dip you see there is what's actually carrying the cold air all the way from the North Pole down into portions of the US. This is going to bring a ton of snow chances for a lot of people up in the Great Lakes and Northeast. In fact, today it's snowing, or it's going to snow in a lot of Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. And in Chicago this morning, it was reported that some of the first flakes were seen, but it was not measurable yet. Okay, there was no measurable snowfall in Chicago, but that could happen later today. And even portions of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New York will get in on some of those flakes tomorrow as the cold air keeps pushing southward. This could actually result in some significant snow totals in places like the UP of Michigan, where many will see well over a foot of snow by Wednesday morning. In areas just southeast of Lakes Michigan and Erie, where the lake effect machines are going to be turned on, you could see anywhere from 3 to 6 all the way up to 10 inches or more of snow, just depending on exactly how those bands set up. Now, there's not going to be any snow in Texas, but this big cold blast will be felt all the way down towards the Gulf of Mexico. Just to put this into perspective for you, it's going to get down to 43 degrees in Houston, Texas tomorrow. And the current record for the coldest temperature on that day is 39 degrees, set in 1978. Florida also looks pretty chilly on Thursday morning, with temperatures in the 30s in the Panhandle and in the 50s all the way down towards Naples. In Huntsville, Alabama on Wednesday, we could reach a frigid 27 degrees, which would set the new October 19th all-time low temperature record. Many records will be broken across Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia as these morning temperatures at or below freezing will last almost the entire week. Keep in mind, while all of this is happening on the East Coast, over here on the West Coast, we're dealing with quite literally the opposite problem. A strong high pressure system and a modest offshore flow have been the perfect ingredients behind this hot-tober pattern. Seattle set yet another record high temperature yesterday at a scorching 88 degrees. And wildfires in this region are still blazing like crazy because not only do we have record high temperatures, they're being accompanied by record drought-like conditions. Rainfall totals in this region are coming in less than 10% of the normal amounts since July 4th. So we've got extremes on both sides of the country, bitter cold in the east and record warmth in the west. What happens when these air masses meet up and all this warm air pushes the cold air out of the way? Well, obviously there are no concrete answers, but I'm getting ready to show you all of the data, and things look really interesting. I am personally betting on the fact that we're going to get some wild weather out of this. I'm also betting on the fact that you're going to love today's sponsor, DraftKings, America's top sports betting company. NBA season has arrived, and what better way is there to kick off the season than another sweet deal from our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook? The DraftKings guys don't even care who you're cheering for. This NBA season, new customers can make any $5 bet on the NBA and receive $200 in free bets if your bet cashes. That's right, DraftKings is going to give you guys $200 in free bets when you place any pregame $5 or more wager on the NBA team of your choice. And with same game parlays, you can combine a bunch of different bets from the same game to get a chance to win big all season long. For those of you who are in a state that doesn't have sports betting, it's okay. Go check out DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where there's even more ways to cash in this basketball season. So go ahead and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. All new customers that sign up with my promo code Ryan Hall are going to get $200 in free bets if their pregame moneyline bet hits after placing a $5 wager. So don't you dare wait. Use my code Ryan Hall and sign up right now while there's still time. And now let's get back into the video. So around Thursday, something really interesting is going to happen. The intense cold in the east is going to be pushed out of the way after colliding with the warm air from the west. The result of this major pattern shift in the short term is actually going to be pretty anticlimactic. In fact, next weekend looks like great weather across the vast majority of the country, with warm temperatures temperatures and basically no precipitation on Friday, most people would probably think this flip is actually having a positive effect on our overall synoptic weather pattern. But those people are wrong. You're probably not going to like what happens next. At least not as much as you're currently liking this video right now. And by the way, if you do like it, please slap the like button and hit subscribe. It helps me out way more than you could ever know. But this surge of warm air and weakening of our western ridge is only setting us up for a very big storm whenever the next system rolls through. On Saturday, we're starting to see a big system that's going to try to dive down through the Pacific Northwest, bringing widespread snow and heavy rain to many from British Columbia, Canada, all the way down into the Rockies. This system will be carrying yet another big blast of cold air behind it, and it's going to be ready to interact with the warm air that has been building up across the eastern half of the US. This would result in a strengthening storm that drops a ton of snow from Colorado all the way up through North Dakota and into Canada. Additionally, the cold front would spark heavy rain and severe weather from the upper Midwest all the way down through the deep south. Notice how the GFS paints a swath of a foot or more of snow on the backside of this storm all the way up into northern parts of Ontario. Also, watch how the GFS clearly shows a massive cold front raking up moisture out in front of it, and just from the looks of this, you can see that dry line. This is almost certainly going to lead to widespread big-time thunderstorms. It's really too early to tell you how intense this storm's going to be. I can't tell you where the worst severe weather is going to happen, where we're going to see the most snow or anything like that just yet. But the fact that this big temperature shift is about to take place is one of the only reasons this upcoming storm is a real possibility. So just to put it all on the table, let's show you a graphic to let you know what we're looking at right now. If you're in the red zone here, be on the lookout for some general severe weather next week. We'll narrow this down as time goes forward. If you're in the green, this is where I think we have to really watch out for flooding, as we're going to see all this Gulf of Mexico moisture get dumped on this region over a short period of time. And if you're in the blue, we have to be on the lookout for maybe one of the biggest snowstorms of the season early next week. Personally, the thing that I am paying the most attention to is the severe weather aspect. I've been doing this since I was like 6 years old, and I've seen this pattern a million times. Whenever we start to see this wobbly jet stream and some of these big troughs making it down into the south in the fall, a lot of times we do get severe weather, and people are often surprised by the fact that we get tornadoes and stuff that you would normally see in the spring. Do not be surprised if this happens this time. I'm just trying to give you an early heads up, an early look into what could be happening in the near future. And the latest GFS model actually puts us into a pattern where we'd be talking about a ton of severe weather chances as we go all the way into the end of October. So basically, October is trying to go out with a bang, with several chances for snow, heavy rain, flooding, and potentially severe weather. There's a lot of stuff to keep an eye on as we go through the end of the month. And I understand that the constant talk of big storms and extreme weather may sound scary, but it's important to understand that none of this means that the world is ending. I'm simply giving you a sneak peek into the fascinating world of meteorology and what goes into making these forecasts. Don't be scared, be prepared, and be weather aware, because things can still change as we go forward. As we get closer to these events, we're going to know a lot more, and of course, I'm going to be right here keeping you updated every step of the way. Hey, huge shout out to all of our members over here. Thank you guys so much for being a huge part of the channel. Also, thanks to all of our new subscribers. We hit 700,000 subscribers last night. We're gaining like 10 to 20,000 subscribers a day right now. I hope you guys enjoy the content, and we are just getting started. I have a lot of videos that I have to do this month because things are looking more interesting as we head closer to November. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.